Good morning, Service Alliance community. How y'all doing today? Shayna,
What's up, Zach?
how you doing?
I'm good. It's been forever. Forever.
It has been forever. I didn't even get to see you at PSA. I got stuck with Jason
I know.
and your boy.
I know. It was exciting, wasn't it?
Actually, it was kind of fun. I have never met your son, so
Yeah?
that was first time. That was cool. I've talked to him, but I've never actually met him. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
He is.
Man, he's a man.
He is a man now. But he's still a kid to us because
Ye-
anyone younger than 30 is a kid. Getting old.
I saw a meme the other day. It said every time someone says 30 years ago, I think that it's the 1970s.
Yes. So true. So true. So true. Where does time go?
Where does time go?
Oh, well, we're talking something that no one wants to talk about, KPIs. What should you be tracking? How should you be tracking? Why the heck are we tracking? I I did not have KPIs at Gordon's. Not at all. I should have.
You should have. They are important.
I
I'm just
I
saying.
don't know that it would have made a difference by the time I would have learned to implement them, but KPIs are a good thing. So there's a quote, Peter Drucker: "What gets measured gets managed." I don't like it. I don't. I think what gets measured gets better over time. Why are we always micromanaging everything? I think we need to give people a little bit of freedom within some boundaries. And if you're doing KPIs, you're giving them some freedom in
That's
the
true.
boundaries, and it's
Yep.
going to get better over time.
100%.
Yeah, I I don't listen. I babysit enough guys, enough grown men every day. I don't want to babysit grown men all day. I don't. I just don't.
No, but it's really truly is real that if you don't babysit them, I mean, and I use the term babysit here with the office. Like if you don't babysit them, they don't they don't know where to go. It's more like they're just wandering around the desert lost.
Yep. Yep. And so I think KPIs kind of give us the ability to go, hey, here's the boundaries of your job. Here's the things that should be improving. Um, and so it's less babysitting, it's less managing, micromanaging our team. Hey, look, Sean is he's here and he's doing his continuing education with Service Alliance this morning. How fun.
Good morning, Sean.
There's a lot of other people. Andrew,
What?
good morning. Saul, Sean, Garrison. Good
Hi,
morning.
everyone. Well, and I will say this also, even if you're a one-man truck, a lot of times people are like, how's business? Oh, it's good. But if you
Is
don't
it though?
actually
Is it?
you, if you don't actually know, like there may be a few numbers you're looking at to maybe determine whether it's good or not, or your bills are paid. So I mean, that's good. But could it be better? And if you're not tracking those things, you don't know. Do you know what numbers to look at? And I know that it's been discussed on here many, many times. Um, but if you're not tracking it, could it be better?
I'm gonna pull a I'm gonna pull a crappy COVID Zoom moment here. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're actually tracking KPIs. Like if your company has KPIs, you have some setup that you're tracking, drop a 1 in there. And if you are like I was at Gordon's, are like KPIs, drop a 2. Drop a big one.
I'm dropping a 1, but I will say for a good part of the year, we stopped tracking KPIs.
Oh no.
I know, and it got bad. And guess what? Now it's great. No, it's great.
In Saul. Oh, Saul's tracking I know Marcona's tracking KPIs. Yeah, Vulcan tracking KPIs. Not check there. Everyone else they're dropping crickets in the comments.
I won't say that. I don't want to admit it. And it's okay if you're not doing it
Hey,
for now.
I'm not
Or
tracking KPIs. I got to figure out how to track KPIs. Being a repair tech for roofing, I don't really know what I would track. Oh, there's Andrew. He's actually tracking some KPIs, and I can believe that because his business has gotten better over time as well. So, but yeah, I'm not tracking them. I don't know what to track for me, right? I like if I was full on putting roofs on and had salespeople and all that stuff, right? Easy to track KPIs for that. How many doors are you knocking? How many phone calls are you making? Are you getting referrals from BNI? You know, what's your conversion rate? What's your profitability percentage over time? Like super easy. But for me, it's kind of hard to track how many shingles I put down on a repair. It's a little.
well, you can still do your average sale, your average service
I could.
call. Do you ever convert the service call to a roof replacement, or is that already done by the other team?
Typically, it's done by the other team. If I do my own stuff, sometimes I can convert it into a full sale. But usually, it's done by the other team. So
I think you should do average shingles.
I think that's a lot of nonsense. No, but
Number of nails.
I like tracking the profitability, understanding cost of doing business. For me, that's something.
Yeah.
This winter when I slow down, I look to put into place this year. So, but with that, we're gonna stop with the intro and we're gonna pray this up, and then we're gonna get into the actual meat and potatoes of what we're talking about today. So, Shayna, you want to pray us in as a guest?
Sure. Father, I give you the praise and glory for the start of this beautiful week. I pray, Father, that you just pour down your blessings upon each and every single one of us this week, that you lead us and guide us, that we not only do great things for our business, Father God, but that we do great things for you, that you open our ears and our eyes so that we may be able to show your light to someone or someone's in our life, or even walking down the street, Father. I pray that for just you just to be there with us, Father. And as we go into this week of thankfulness, Father, I pray that you just help remind us how great that we have it and that we need to be thankful for everything that you've given us. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Awesome. I'm going to use an example from not in work about stuff not getting measured and
Okay.
getting out of whack. So I jumped in my winter challenge. There's always one called Thriving Through the Holidays. My good friend Casey runs a health and fitness challenge. And it forces you to track some metrics, right? You got to track your starting body weight, fat, size of arms and legs and waist, all that stuff. And you have to track your macros, your calories, everything. Like it all has to be tracked at all times. Hey, are you actually doing your exercise? How many calories did you burn in it? Whatever, right?
Right.
And then you have to have some proof. You have to bring the receipts to the group and share it with the group. And so I have not been tracking for the last 9 months. Guess which direction I went?
In the negative.
Yeah, negative as in bad.
Yeah.
Positive as in gained more weight than I wanted to. Still not
Yeah.
back to where I was before I lost all the weight, which is good. But because I wasn't intentional in tracking, it got out of control.
Yep.
Started tracking again, and holy crap, I mean,
Yeah.
it's rapid fire, right? And so the same thing applies in our business. The moment we let things get, I don't need to track that. I don't need to worry about that. It's gonna spiral out of control.
Or
I
sometimes
promise you.
it's not even necessarily us saying, I don't need to track that. I don't need to worry about that. Life happens, right? And so we stop tracking, we stop paying attention for a short time. And then that short time becomes longer and longer and longer. And then it's trying to get back in the routine. Because it was a couple times when we stopped doing it, we tried to get back in the routine and we just couldn't get back in the routine, right?
Yeah.
Um, but that also meant that what we were doing wasn't getting any better.
Hmm.
And now that we are not even a month into tracking, our numbers are skyrocketing. We have people bonusing for the first time in a year and a half. It's
Yep.
crazy. And not that they didn't want a bonus before, but I think, they were lost. So how do I really truly hit that? Why people don't know how to hit that? Like people know how to hit those numbers. Let's hit those numbers. Let's do it. And
Yeah, you got to give people something to go for. It's managing without managing, right? That's
yep.
kind of what I was alluding to before. We don't need to be sitting there and babysitting if we give them the boundaries that they should be within, right?
Yep.
It's pretty simple. Majority of owners run their businesses blind. Um, and that's just a fact. Not
Yeah.
everyone, but a majority. The KPIs are going to give you clarity, control, predictability. You're going to kind of know where you're heading. So we want to kind of simplify this today. So I'm going to go with the KPIs that should matter to every appliance repair business. I'm just going to list out the 6 and then we'll kind of discuss. So we got your booking rate,
Hmm.
right? How many
Yes.
calls are you turning into jobs? Your your average ticket, like how much are you getting on a repair gross? I'm not saying profit, I'm saying gross for that average ticket. Your first call completes, your recall rate, your cost of doing business. Boy, I've hammered on that one a lot in the last couple of years. Um, so those are like the big 5,
Yeah.
right? So
100%.
so so why do we want to track those and why do those matter the most?
Well, let's talk about the booking rate. Like, okay, so booking rate is anything above the diagnostic.
Mhm.
So just because you went out doesn't mean that you count that, right? So did you go out and convert it to a larger ticket, whether you're selling and you sell them an appliance or you're repairing and you repair them appliance? Because I know a lot have gotten into doing both. Did you convert that? Our average for electrical, it needed to be 85% or higher.
Mike would disagree with you. Mike would say the booking rate is, did I at least get a service call? The conversion rate would be, did I turn that into an actual job? And I agree
Y-
with Mike on that. I like tracking those numbers
Yeah,
independently of each other. Um, just because I want to know, like, that it's almost like giving your walk rate without giving
yeah.
your walk rate, you know?
And those are both of them are very important. We do track booking rate here at my office help. I tracked it with service detectives. And then we tracked booking rate, conversion rate, whichever you want to call it, for the technicians as well. They're both equally important.
Yep.
If we're looking at the owner, a lot of times, what I've seen, a lot of owners will just give in and they will just sometimes lower the dispatch fee. I did that, or waive it because they feel sorry for the lady, but sometimes it's always owners typically can close more calls getting out there.
Yep.
And so if you do have someone in the office actually tracking that, if you're using an answering service or an outside service, tracking that, if they're not tracking it for you, 100%. As far as even you as a owner technician, what is, in this case, your conversion rate? What
Yep.
is it?
Yep. For me, I'm in the 90%. if I get a call, it's rare that I don't get the actual repair out of it. So,
Well, one thing that most of the time, and we saw this with every single one of our technicians, nobody could ever get to the same conversion rate as Jason.
oh yeah, 100%.
And
It's
you will see that there's very few technicians you ever get that will have as much of a buy-in as the owner. So especially if you have a technician tracking that to know where he's at, is it could be very vital for your company.
well, we could go back to the Gordon's Appliance days. I was probably 95, 97% as far as conversion. It was rare that I didn't turn a service call into an actual repair. I mean, it had to be a machine that was just on its last leg, falling apart to not convert.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as an owner, it's very different. And when you have a team, it becomes important to track, that booking and conversion rate. So, 75 to 90%. Your top tech is gonna be closer to that 90%. They're gonna have a lot of buy-in. They're not gonna be the owner, but they're gonna be darn close.
And then as far as office is concerned, 85% or higher is where it should be. Very few answering services that can ever get above 60%. And I know that from my own experience of dealing with answering services and trying to get them to actually book calls. So I quit letting them book calls. You hire someone outside that's specifically for your company, such as my office help. We do have an 85% booking rate. Our team does have to maintain that. And if not, why are they not maintaining that? What do we need to
Yep.
teach them? And that goes for anybody that you hire. They should be at 85% or higher. I have team members that hit 95% and more consistently across the board.
Yep. Yeah, and when you have a well-trained CSR or well-trained answering service like my office help, you can actually accomplish that. You can at least get in the door, and then it's your job to make sure your team is trained up. And that's where that conversion rate and where the next one, the average ticket,
Yep.
becomes super important. Have you trained your technicians well enough, or are you well enough trained that when it's time to convert these jobs, you're actually making some money on them, right? So for a beginner, it's saying 250 to 350. And I don't disagree with that being an average ticket. Listen, this isn't the 90s anymore. That average ticket with your service call should be 250 to 350. There's no excuse. And if you are under that, you're going out of business. There is no area in the country where you should be below 250 to 350.
Yeah.
Just you can't afford to run a business below that right now. And then for someone experienced, 350, 500. Absolutely doable. Those
Yeah.
you guys turning away refrigerators, that's why your average ticket's so dang low. Like it or hate it, it's the truth.
Yeah.
I was talking to Mike about someone who doesn't do refrigerators, and I go, man, refrigerators were my highest profitable thing, and I sold almost every one of them. It was rare I didn't sell a fridge repair, So
It's and part of that also, not just fridges, but looking to see, are there certain items in your area that others aren't touching? So like for us with electrical, we got to a point in our area that nobody would touch a mobile home. Guess what we started doing? Guess what we started having higher average tickets on, because they needed someone to fix it.
the funny part about that, I like that for appliance repair too, because you know who has cash? People in mobile homes.
That they do. That they do.
It is mind blowing.
And our average ticket with them was so much higher than the average repair on a stick-built home.
Yep. So the thing is, find a niche, right? Find a niche. my niche tended to be, and this is why my conversion rate was so high, this is why everything was so high for me, is that I marketed to other blue collar people. They weren't blue collar people who could figure out how to do their own machine repair,
Yeah.
but they were blue collar people who knew, listen, I got cash and I ain't got time. They were a lot like me. I'm going to hire a guy to do my concrete because I ain't got time to do it. Could I do it? Sure. Is it worth my time to do it? No. And so I niche down to who are my blue collar, who are my tradies that don't want to do this stuff, and they're going to dump the cash with me. And then when it comes time, right, they're not going to haggle me on price. They're not going to say, give me a good deal. They're going to go, here's your money, and here's a little bit extra, because they know I'm going to turn around and do the same thing for them. When it's time for me to get service done, I'm going to turn around. Here you go. Here's your fee, and here's a little extra on top for you to go have some walking around money, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is good, Andrew. Again, so it says beginner and experience. This is just pulling data, but I don't hate a 292. When I left, I was averaging right around 300, right? Don't hate it. Depends on the area and depends on all the appliances you're doing. And the fact that you know that you're increasing, you're doing something right. So that's good. It's good.
Yeah.
But that average ticket, that begins to go into your profitability. If you're not tracking that, you don't notice where to set your margins at. And just like James Dolbear, I am big on margins. I have been in flooring and roofing, and both of them are in margins, and that's why those guys are profitable and driving the big trucks and doing stupid stuff, right? Because they're playing in margin, so they can. Appliance repair, you should be playing in margin too. You should be working with margins.
Yep.
So, and first call completion, man, 60 to 80% as a first call complete. I don't know. I don't know what everyone's doing. I think I was like right around 70 to 80% when I was doing it. I try to keep truck stock, and I had a whole bunch of, I'm going to make Saul cry, Sunbergs in my area. So if I needed a part, I could just run and grab it real quick and knock it out before I left for the day. So.
This one does amaze me when we do have owners that you can tell they don't actually truly care about first call complete, because I mean, I understand the importance of it being even electrical. Yes, we could run down the road and get the supplies, but having the supplies on the truck saved me so much. And so the owners that you can tell, those that really truly do dig in and try to do as many first call completes, because it really truly can make a huge difference in your profitability.
Yeah, Andrew, I would say market in a different way. That's my personal opinion. Find a niche, man. Like I said, I look for the tradies. I look for the blue collar guys. I got connected through BNI and just being a social butterfly. And this person would refer me to this person, would refer me to this person, and it was all in that blue collar trades. And for me and for that area, I spoke the language, right? I was one of them, and so it was easy for me to convert those and make the money on those. So if
Yep.
Google's causing you problems, make a shift. At least you know what's not happening. So now you got to figure out how to shift that. And that's the point of KPIs. Andrew, everything you've said today it's leaning right into why we hammer on tracking the KPIs. So first time completes are about 50 to 60% average. 20 years ago, you would have had 78. Yeah, because there's a ton of machines, right? So we're saying what, 6 years ago, I was pushing that 80%. And machines have only gotten more complicated and more goofy in the last 6 years. So, there you go. First call complete. I don't track it intentionally. I still think you should. Paid versus unpaid bookings. Yeah, I wonder what happens if you track that first call complete, Andrew. I just for curiosity's sake, right?
Yep.
So those first call completes, typically most areas, that's gonna impact profit, customer satisfaction, and your scheduling capacity. You're gonna be able to be like Doug and be that 1 to 2 days out versus a week, 2 weeks out, which is not a badge of honor. 1 to 2
Yep.
days, badge of honor. A week or 2 weeks out, you're doing something wrong. So,
Yep.
how about recall rate?
Oh, that one's a tough one. Because if you have new technicians, it is definitely going to be higher.
Mhm.
But you as a skilled technician, what is your recall rate? Are you still getting a lot of callbacks? Are you still, and there's some you just can't prevent, right?
100%. I had recalls and it was stuff that there's no way I would have found that the first time around until I replaced the part that I did because that part was bad.
Yeah.
Nothing I could have done,
And there's some that you can't prevent, but I will tell you this, if you really truly track that and you get that number lower, the actual recall percentage lower, you are definitely going to have happier customers.
Mhm.
The amount of calls that we get for someone saying they repaired it and now it's broke again and they're not happy. Like
Mhm.
they were happy you fixed it, but now they're not happy. Would save everybody a lot of headache.
Yep. And having a process in place for those recalls, which is why it's important to track those recalls. You're going to know if a technician is struggling with a particular type of appliance. Because listen, here's the thing: if you're going 2 and 3 and 4 and 7 times on a recall, you're not doing something right. Someone
Yeah.
needs some training somewhere. Or the owner needs to step in sooner. And I've been there. I had new guys when I was busy as hell and I was out and I was running calls and I couldn't get back on their recalls and I didn't have the process in place. Sometimes they were going out 4 times and I'd have to go the 5th time and I'd have a pissed off customer and then I'm
Yeah.
giving money back because, they're pissed. And so you can't do that. You got to make sure that you are tracking that recall rate for sure. So
Yeah.
it destroys your profitability too. Every time you gotta burn that gas and burn that time and burn that spot, man, you're losing profit.
And
Um,
possibly a one-star review and a customer never calling you back. And I have most of our companies have always cared. I do have those that if they are recalled on a third time, like second recall, third time out there, it's put on the owner. I have had companies and also fire companies because they truly didn't care.
yep,
And it was so stressful for everybody. My team hated answering the phone. So you have someone in the house answering the phones. They hated answering the phones. It's stressed out. That means you're going to have a higher turnover rate all the way around, not just with technicians, but also with your CSRs,
yep,
whoever's answering your phones. Like it just doesn't make for a good company.
yep. So when you're doing over 1,000 calls a year, first call and recall rates can drive you insane. Just do your best. Yeah, but I still think you should track them. I don't I don't think you need to drive yourself nuts with it. I think you just need to know your current reality. I think it's important to understand your current reality. So at least track it, whether you're doing anything with it right now or not. I think it's important to know where you stand because
Yeah.
if you don't know where you stand, you don't know what you can improve in the future when you do have the time to focus on first call and recalls and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think it's important. I think that's where having a good office person, like so if you are a one man show, your first hire should be an amazing CSR or outsource it to someone like Shayna, to my office help, right? Because I do think it is so important to have someone tracking those first calls and those recalls so that you understand how to improve in the future. And it's going to lead to those higher conversions if you're utilizing someone who's trained
Yep.
to get those. Hey, I'm looking for appliance repair. If they convert that into a booked job, and then you can book that into a converted call, it's worth its weight in gold when you
Yep.
can do that. So,
Um, I want to go back to a question he asked earlier for Saul, and I want to say, Doug who?
oh yeah. Well,
Doug who? No.
he's it's not often that Doug disappears, but he sent me a message. So I did see one of his daughters is back in town, so I assume he's, being a family man. We'll give him that.
That's fine. We don't need no Doug.
We got a Shayna. And this next one I think is the most important, the cost of doing business. If you don't know your cost of doing business, go work for someone. Hot take. You have to know your cost of doing business. You have to know your overhead. You have to know what you're doing. You don't know if you're priced correctly if you don't know what it costs to do your business. When we go into the budgeting class, when we go into the goals class, and I ask, what's your cost of doing business? And people can't rattle it off. All right, we got some work to do, right? You
Yeah.
have to know that number.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed one. There's actually 6 KPIs.
You did.
Oh
I just thought
boy.
maybe you didn't think that one was important. So
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I didn't put the
you
space
get a
in there and I
bonus
missed one. You guys get a
bonus
bonus one
KPI.
today.
So exciting.
But yeah, so most beginners don't know it, and heck, most freaking experienced owners don't know what their cost of doing business is.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you will bleed. I took over a business from a guy who didn't know his cost of doing business. And I've shared this multiple times. He had a pension from the fire department, and so when the books looked like they were going, when the bank account was going red, he just didn't take a paycheck. And that's
Yeah.
not a way to run a business. That's a hobby at that
Yeah.
point, right? So you have to know your cost of doing business. And if you don't know how to figure that out, there are costs of doing business calculators out there. Good accountant can help you with that. Good bookkeeper can help you with that. So
Yeah.
make sure you start tracking that. So here's the bonus one that I skipped because whatever reason. Oh boy. This is one, and this is the crazy part, is this is one that I was actually tracking at the end. I had a big old whiteboard and I was actually tracking per day, per week, per month. I put an entire month calendar up and I had
Yep.
all the days, the tally at the end of the week, and then I had the monthly average broken down. So I knew those numbers all the
Yep.
time. Revenue per tech per day.
Yeah.
Such an important number.
Yeah.
Such an important number. You have to know what your techs and yourself are producing every day. It's going to reveal your efficiency, your scheduling, when you're ready to hire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're just starting out, like 800, and if it's a newer tech, 800 a day is a pretty good number, and then $1,200 a day is kind of that top end. I I know companies that were higher. I was higher. I was about 1,500 per day, but I was doing a ton of refrigerator repair. So the number's going to vary, but figure 800, 1,200 per tech per day.
Yeah.
That's a good month. That means your people are getting paid well. And you're actually able to grow. So you got to know that number. So do you have a lot of companies that track the per tech per day?
I don't know about that. I haven't had anybody tell me that they do. I'm sure that they probably do. We always did. We had, well, in our old buildings, we had a whiteboard. In this building here, In the warehouse, I had a big, huge wall, and I went to Home Depot and I bought its drywall erase paint
Yep.
and painted, and it's still up there on the other side of like the wall I'm looking at,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
on the other side. Big, huge. I think you can paint like a 10 by 5 with that paint. And that's where we put our numbers.
Yep.
And had it spread out. It was huge. So even if you don't have a whiteboard, like I highly actually, I only go with the dry erase paint now. Like a quarter of our wall on this wall is dry erase paint.
Are you
It's
having
amazing.
good luck with that? Because I had to switch to
Love it.
the rolled stuff. Like it's actually like the dry erase material, but it's rolled out
So
and
we
on the
don't
wall.
use cheap dry erase markers on it. We actually use the glass dry
Okay.
erase markers,
Okay.
because we also in our break room we do have a big glass board. The glass dry erase markers are a much higher quality, and so it cleans off super super good. So
Nice. Well, that's
love
good to
it.
know. It's good
Yeah.
to know. Otherwise,
Anyways,
Amazon has the rolls and you
they do
can
have.
whatever
Yep.
size and you can roll it out. It's
We have a couple of those that we
I
use
got one
for.
right here.
Do you? Because we had used to have a separate building, and so we got one of that so that we could go have our leadership meetings over there, but then bring
Nice.
back the information without having to bring back an actual solid board. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Anyway,
So how the heck are we going to track this? You know, actually, let's start here. Why are we tracking the three biggest KPIs? So the three biggest ones, your booking rate, that's your volume. It's going to control your volume. That tells you if you need to hire. Okay. Average ticket, that's revenue. That's you actually getting a paycheck and your team getting a paycheck, right? And your first call complete is efficiency. How good are you at planning, pre-diagnosing, pre-tripping, making sure that you have what you need? If you improve those three things, your business is going to take off.
it's gonna grow.
It
Who
will
wants their
every
business to
time,
grow? Like
every single time.
I have some people that want to stay one owner. Stay one owner, but you still want your business to grow. Who wants to add technicians? Got those too.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's a one owner or if it is. It's let's grow it.
Listen, so one owners, what does growing your business mean? And we get this all the time. I don't want to add more technicians. I don't care. I don't want the headache. Cool. But growing your business also means you can pour into your retirement. You can take vacations. You have money set aside for a rainy day. That's
Yeah.
also growing your business.
Yeah.
You can stay one owner. That's fine. But what's your retirement plan?
Yeah.
If you're not tracking these three KPIs, if you're not bringing in the revenue, if you're not profitable, guess what? You're working till you're dead.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a really crappy plan to me.
Yeah.
I'm on track for that right now, by the way.
To
That's
work
gonna
to your
that's gonna
dead.
yeah, that's gonna change though. That's gonna
Yeah.
change. So how do we start tracking these things, Shayna?
Well, I mean, first off, let's keep it simple.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to go crazy with this. We don't have to just keep it simple. Even if you start with one this month and another one, add on another one next month, you don't have to do all 6 right now because sometimes that can be overload and then you burn yourself out and then you stop tracking again, right?
Yep.
Let's keep it simple.
Put it in a Google sheet, put it on a whiteboard, put it somewhere where you're gonna see it. What you track is gonna get improved every single time. And so just put it somewhere where it's in your face, you can see it all the time, and just make it simple. Just
Yeah.
simple, right? Um, I like tracking daily and weekly. Then I was able to get the monthly totals, but doing daily and weekly gave me that just microscopic view
Yeah.
so I can make small pivots instead of having to wait till the end of the month and make these
Well, and some
Big
of these,
crazy changes.
if you have it on a board, have your technicians put their numbers up if they're
Heck
coming
yeah.
into the office. It really helps them to be able to see where they're at because you need to also have on here, here's your goal. And so if they don't see where their goal is, they know that. And so that sometimes is a little bit of motivator, but also helps both of you know whether, why did you not hit that number? Or is there something we need to train on? What is going on to keep them from hitting those numbers. So
Yep.
having them put it on the board versus you, it actually gets them involved in the process.
Yep. Review it weekly. I always went over the numbers on Saturday. And it was the only time that I made my guys pay attention to their phones on the weekend. Because unless I was doing a commercial job, I wasn't working the weekend, right? But I would say, hey, I'm going to shoot you a text after I review the numbers on Saturday. Just let you know where you're standing for the week, and we can figure out what needs to be improved, or if there's something I can help you with, something I can help you get better, equip you better, a tool, a process, a training, whatever. Just a 5-minute conversation on Saturday, so we can get better together. Whenever you choose to do it weekly, right?
Yeah.
It's important. So, I like so I like what it says to review. What improved, what dropped, what frustrated you, because that actually does matter.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it matters. What frustrated you? Which KPI do you want to focus on next? And make sure I, I don't ever like tracking more than 6 at a time anyway.
Yeah.
I because if you get beyond that, then it just like it's overload. You know
Yeah.
what I
It
mean?
is.
So it allows you to continue to make the small but consistent
Yeah.
adjustments over time instead of,
I
like I said, when you do those big swings, it it you rock the boat, you rock yourself, you rock your team. No
yeah.
one knows which direction is up. But if you're making small adjustments, it's a lot more
Yeah.
manageable and a lot more tolerable.
I think if you're tracking more than 6, then, you need to have a bigger company. Doug, their company
Oh
tracks
yeah,
more than 6. They have
yeah,
different departments. We have more than 6, but I have different sides of our business, and I have different team members inputting those numbers. So, um, if you're a smaller company, stick with the 6.
yep, yep. Yeah, when you get to 20, 30, 40 people, yeah, absolutely. You can track more numbers because more people are going to be responsible for tracking the numbers. So you as the leader can then take the massive big picture from all these little pictures.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be paying attention to every single little picture. That will drive you insane.
Yep.
I promise.
Yep.
I promise. So KPIs aren't optional. I'm telling you right now. It's
They
it's
are
just
not.
it's not an optional thing. Like, so all the corporate buzzwords go around all the time. KPIs have always been important. We haven't always called them KPIs. But KPIs will never go away. They have always been one of the most important things in your business. So it's not optional to track KPIs. I don't care what you track. I think these 6 are the most important to track, but pick what you want. But if you want to see your business grow, if you want to see your pocketbook get a little bit bigger, these 6 are going to make that difference
Yep.
for you. And start with the basics. Start with these 6, right? Just keep it simple, stupid. That that was drilled into my head in college. Keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method.
Yep.
Um, the more complicated you make it, the more you're going to drive yourself absolutely freaking nuts. And the last thing to take away is consistency. If you're consistent in doing this, you're going to win. The minute you break that consistency, you start going backwards, like I did with my health journey, right?
Yeah.
The minute I stopped tracking, the minute I stopped being consistent, I went the wrong direction. Keep it consistent, keep it small, keep it simple, and you're going to head the right direction. All right,
Yep.
Saul. Now I'll come back to your
Very serious question.
very serial question.
We got Saul is frying his, Andrew is roasting his. What are you doing to yours, Zach?
I don't do anything. I'm not allowed to cook.
I'm supposed to be smoking mine. I have not used my smoker in about a month and a half though, so I'm going to probably stick something in the smoker tomorrow to make sure that it's prepared for Wednesday's bird.
No. So my mother-in-law roasts hers. She's the one who cooks that. And so yeah, that's usually what we do. When I lived at home many eons ago, my dad and I would we would deep fry it. We take it outside and do the deep fryer. It was always a good bird. We inject it, so you get that real good skin. I don't like the skin usually,
Yeah.
but when you inject it and fry it, top
So
notch.
so I like to
Fries it as
frying,
well.
and then Doug is adding jelly to his. I spatchcock mine, and then I debone it I'll debone it on Wednesday night, and I'll stick it in the crock pot with parquet butter on top of it for
Nice.
Wednesday. So that butter just has this little extra, I don't know, it's bad butter. All butter, almost all bad butter is bad, but it just has this extra greatness to it that seeps into the turkey, makes it so juicy. So excited.
So from a health coach perspective here, butter is not bad.
Well, parquet is bad.
Yeah, okay. So real
That's what I'm
butter,
referring to.
real butter,
Real butter is not bad.
real butter is fantastic. I love the macros in real butter.
Finding the real butter is very difficult, though, at least here. I know where to go, but I've been out for a little bit, and it's expensive.
I
Mm.
don't hate Aldi's butter. I use Aldi butter all the time. It fits in my macro profile very nicely. Fat isn't a bad thing,
No,
despite what we said in the 90s and 2000s. Fat is actually, you need it. So,
I like the clean butter, though. If I can,
yeah,
I just
grass
gotta.
fed and all that stuff.
Yes,
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
yes,
That is harder
yeah.
to find. I will agree.
We have a co-op that has it, and I've been out for over a month, and my coupon is about to expire at the end of this month, so I need to go get it.
I'm going to drive Saul nuts here. You want to know what my Thanksgiving dinner is going to be?
I'm not skipping on that parquet butter. What's your Thanksgiving going to be?
I'm going to have 3 cups of salad, and I'm gonna take some of the turkey. It's gonna be weighed out. I can have 6 ounces of turkey. Weigh it out, stick it on top, put a little bit of my salad dressing on. Good to go. Done that a couple holidays, and I don't hate it. And guess what? I get to have a piece of pumpkin pie without the crust. My favorite part. I hate the crust, so it's perfect for me.
There you go.
Fits in my nutrition plan, so works out
Hey,
well.
Saul. To make my own butter would require me having time to make butter, and I don't want to make time to make butter. I have too many other more important things to do than just sit and make butter.
Was just thinking that ain't nobody got time for that.
I'll just go spend $30 on the tub.
And Saul, that's the problem, buddy. That is the problem right there.
Tracking making butter KPIs. Oh my word.
Oh, Saul, you're ornery every single morning. I was going to say this morning, but it's every morning with Saul. So, well, hopefully this helped you guys. Hopefully it encouraged you and didn't discourage you from tracking your KPIs because it is so important to do.
Yeah.
So, anyway, join us December 20th, I am teaching annual budget planning. You darn well better know your cost of doing business. And if you don't, I'm going to try and help you sort through what the important numbers for cost of doing business are, so that we can begin to plan for next year, so we can begin to grow together, whether we're one man or 20 techs. We all want to grow. So servicealliancegroup.com, become an all access member, join us monthly. This bunch of business owners get together and we teach these different things. Next year, going into next year, we have a couple ideas in mind. So it's not just Mike and TK and Zach and you hearing our dang voices every single time. We're looking to bring some other people in to teach on these different topics that they're amazing at. So now's the time to join. Servicealliancegroup.com. Come join us monthly. So have a blessed Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for. Absolutely, Saul. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Be blessed. Yes, absolutely. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with family. I'm going to be wearing my loops because for the first time in a long time, my wife's entire family is going to be at her parents' house, and I'm going to be one overstimulated, grumpy roofer. So I'm going to put my loops in to minimize the noise, bring the stress level down, and hopefully enjoy some family time. So
can I'm going to throw something out also.
Absolutely.
If you go to myofficehub.com, we are having a Black Friday special, not on our phones, but on our actual platform that we have. So whether they need it for just the phones and communication, we do have smaller packages for that, all the way up to full-blown CRM, scheduling, tracking, managing social media, like the full-blown shebang on there with an amazing, amazing Black Fridays. So all this week through Cyber Monday. So make sure to go check that out.
Love it. Yeah, you and I are going to have to talk. Jason sent that to me for the owner of the company that I sub for. I am getting ready to really launch the Pink Hat brand. Looking further forward. And I currently have on my phone, I have a business line that has the AI agent in it. It works pretty well, but there's a lot of times I can't track everything. So
we have 4 packages, and they are all for Black Friday. Is you get the setup and the first month for only $1. So
love it.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah. I saw
I'm
your
even
hat.
rocking it today. I busted it out for you.
Yes.
Guys, we hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. In the meantime, get out there, take care of your customers well, take care of your teams well. We'll catch you next time on the Morning Grind. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Grind podcast by Service Alliance Group. Subscribe to our channel and make sure you visit our website at servicealliancegroup.com for appliance repair business resources.